And even then, he still belongs to every religion, every person, every faith. All of these angels are non-denominational. It's very much like you have a heart and you've got a brain and a heart and lungs. Every human does. Every human's born with lungs and a heart and brain. Every human is born with angels. So you have your own personal guardian angels. And then there's archangels who are managers of guardian angels who are non-personal. So Michael is one of the most famous archangels. And he is able to be with every person who calls on him at the same time. He has no limitations at all. Archangel Michael is absolutely like having a superhero here on our planet. Like Superman. And if you need help, if you need protection, just say the name Michael. He's there. He'll give you confidence, he'll give you courage. My research shows that Archangel Michael has been on this planet since before modern man, before modern humans were here. Modern human bodies have been here 200,000 years. That's not very long. Archangel Michael was here before them. And Archangel Michael has a blue energy. It's very interesting. Like Mother Mary has blue energy. A lot of the deities of the earth have blue energy. Archangel Michael is here to make sure that this planet succeeds and to eradicate or release the effects of fear and ego energy. Michael is usually portrayed as having a sword standing on top of a devil. And that's a metaphor for conquering the ego or fear. Again, we all have egos. It's not a problem. It's what we do with them. Does your ego control you or not? Does it keep you from your purpose or not? The ego operates on the belief that you're separate from God and you're separate from angels, you're separate from Jesus, you're separate from other people. Your ego is completely focused on your body. Where your higher self knows that in spiritual truth you are one with God. God is the creator, you're the created. Creator and created are always joined energetically. So your ego is always trying to tell you that you're different than other people. And you might feel different. I understand that. But what the ego tries to do is tell you that you're better than other people or worse than other people. And so when you pray, what's my life purpose? God always answers that. How many of you have made that prayer? Please tell me what my life's purpose is. There's quite a few of you. Your life's purpose has a basis and then a form. The basis of your purpose is that you came here to shine heavenly light and love, to be a 5-pointed star, to be an earth angel. That's your basic purpose that you came here to do. And anything that keeps you from shining, the angels want to help you to reverse. The angels want to help you with whatever makes you shine the brightest. The form that your shining light takes is the career. Now, it could be a volunteer work. Let's make it clear that it doesn't have to necessarily involve money. The ego wants it always to involve money, but it doesn't have to. For instance, you have a purpose to be a good mother, a good father to your children. Lord knows that doesn't pay you any money. It costs you money. But that's part of your purpose, is to be a good parent. Another purpose you have is to learn something for yourself. So you're here to learn about patience. How's that going? Hurry up. You're here to learn about compassion or forgiveness. Or you're here to remember your spiritual gifts. You're here to learn that it's safe to be powerful. It's safe to be noticed. It's okay if people see you. All these things are part of your purpose, to learn those things. And then you came here to help in this dream of separation. You came here to perform helpful actions. And everybody's different, and everybody's equally important. So the airplane mechanic is equally important as the surgeon. The taxi driver is equally as important as the school teacher. Everyone has an equally important role to play. Just like in an orchestra, every instrument is equally important. So it's important that you don't compare yourself to others and go, that looks more important than what I'm doing. It's all important. As long as there's meaningfulness in what you do, as long as you feel a sense of meaning. Do you feel like you're doing something that's helpful, that you believe in? Then you're on your path. If you're doing work that you don't believe in, there's a problem. And that problem is, if you don't believe in the work you're doing, it's dishonesty with yourself, and it creates sour notes. And it can create unhappiness, anxiety, depression, and even disease, and definitely addictions. So you have to be in work that you believe in. That's absolutely for sure, whether you work for someone else or for yourself. Now, if you have a job that you don't believe in and you feel trapped there financially, the angels can help you untangle that and get into a position that still pays your bills or even makes you more money, but that has that foundation of, wow, I'm excited about this job when you wake up. That's God's will for you, is to wake up in the morning and go, yippee, I get to go to work. And if you're not yipping, something's wrong. And we will fix it. We will heal it. Everything can be healed. The ego tries to tell you that it's going to take a lot of time to heal your career life. Don't listen to the ego's lies and rants. It's absolutely not true. The higher self is one with miracles. And miracles don't take any time at all. So a woman came to me who's a nurse, and she told me that a few months before, she was very unhappy because she was working at a very large hospital, and there was very few nurses on staff and a lot of patients. So she was completely overworked, and she felt like the patients were not getting enough treatment. So she prayed. She knew she wanted to stay a nurse. She knew being a nurse was her purpose. But she prayed to get help to work in a smaller location without any idea how this would come about. Because prayers are almost always answered illogically. The ego gets hung up on that. The ego wants everything to be logical. And so it'll block you if it thinks, well, that's not logical. But here's what happened to this woman after she prayed. She heard a voice. Now, most of the time, the angels are pretty quiet. They'll come through your feelings, or you'll get signs. But once in a while, they'll speak up really loud. And you'll hear it with your physical ear, and you'll hear it with one ear. It's the same ear where you hear that high-pitched ringing sound. Some of you hear this sound that goes, not everyone hears that, but those of you do, you know what I'm talking about. And you hear it in one ear. That's your spirit ear. The other ear is your ego ear. So this is the love ear hears the high-pitched ringing sound. The high-pitched ringing sound is encoded information they're giving you. It's like the old broadband hookup when you used to dial up your phone. Remember to go on the computer, we used to dial up? Wasn't that horrible? I'm so glad that's over. But remember that sound it used to make? That's the same sound. They're downloading information to you. And if it gets too loud or painful, just tell them. Be honest with them. So anyway, this woman had prayed to work at a smaller location as a nurse. And in her spirit ear, she heard a voice say to her, "Go to Walmart right now." Did you have Walmart here in Canada?
Yeah.
I apologize on behalf of America. Well, they've been very, they come in and they gobble up mom and pop small businesses. That's not good karma at all, Walmart. But anyway, they know. Anyway, so she heard this voice say, "Go to Walmart right now," and it was no one there, and it was in her spirit ear. And what would you do if you heard that voice? She started arguing with the voice. So she says, "I don't need anything from Walmart. I just need I need a better job. I don't want to work at Walmart. No offense if you do, but I'll pray for you if you do." So the angels don't argue back. You'll know if it's truly the angel's voice if it just says the same thing over and over and over again. Whether you hear it from your gut or your dreams or ideas or a feeling or words. If you get the same message over and over again, that's a sign that it's from God. The ego changes its mind all the time. It's very inconsistent. So she argues with this voice, and the voice says, "Go to Walmart now." She argues one more time, and the voice then gets a little louder and says, "Go to Walmart right now." Now, the voice comes through loud like that when there's a time urgency. So it'll tell you, "Change lanes right now," or "Go check on this right now." It'll be a loud, audible voice. How many of you have heard a voice like that tell you instructions? Wow, probably a third of you. That's a high percentage. So you know what I'm talking about. Usually the angels are quiet unless there's a time urgency, then they'll speak up. And so the angels, God said, "Go to Walmart now." And so she gets in her car, and she feels like she's in a dream. She doesn't know why she's going, but she drives to Walmart obediently. And as she's pulling into the parking lot, another car is pulling out. She does a double take. She recognizes the woman in that car. It's Susan from nursing school. It was her classmate. Hits her. Maybe God does have a plan here. And she rolls down her window and she says, Susan waves to her and says, "Hello." And the woman telling me the story doesn't even say hello back. She just blurts out, "Do you have a job for me?" and Susan recovers, "Hello to you too," and she says, "Oh my goodness, I do." She says, "I've been working with this doctor to open up a small health clinic, and we need one more nurse. Would you be available?" And the woman told me the story, so she practically screamed, "Yes." And she told me this story. She's working at that clinic, happy as can be, because she prayed for help, and then she went to Walmart. So the point is that the answers to prayers are very often illogical, and they seem to have nothing to do with what you're asking. For instance, one of the things that the angels are very big on doing is helping your body to be tuned to the highest vibrations. The angels have said for years they want us to be both strong and sensitive. Very balanced, strong and sensitive. They said that they're working on all of us to be even more sensitive. Maybe you've noticed, yes? Are you noticing your sensitivity levels are just going off the charts? Things that you once enjoyed, you don't like anymore? Are your relationships all changing? Yes. People that you once hung out with, now you're just like, "Oh, please stay away from me." Have you noticed that your taste in movies and TV is changing? The things that you once enjoyed are too harsh now? You're very sensitive to harsh energies. And so there's sensitivity in men. Are you noticing this, that your heart's opening more and your relationship with your career and yourself is changing? Very confusing time to be a man right now. Ladies, they need our support and compassion. Serious. A lot of men are wanting to quit their corporate jobs and become self-employed and do what their hearts desire, and they need our support in doing so. So we're all becoming more sensitive. It's part of the plan. It's the year of the indigo, where the sensitivity helps you to feel energy and accurately feel energy. So that even though all the newspapers and radios are being purchased by these, what the angels call the selfish ones, the world bankers and the oil barons and such, and that they're controlling the media, I think in Canada you're safe. I've read your papers and they look like they're very, very good. So congratulations, Canada. But gosh, in the USA, it's pretty bad. The newspapers are filled with lies and propaganda. But you have a truth detector that's more sensitive now, and you know whether you're being lied to or not, and to trust that. So the angels are working on you being both sensitive and strong. The strength comes from letting you be comfortable with your power. That it's safe to be powerful. Now, power is not the same as being aggressive. Aggressive is harsh energy, and nobody likes harsh energy anymore. It doesn't work anyway. Strength also comes from having your body be strong. A few years ago, I was in Toronto when the power went out on the eastern seaboard. Do you remember this? And all the power went out from Buffalo through Toronto, and I don't know if it came here to Quebec or not, but all the lights were out for hours and hours. All electricity was out. And I was staying in a hotel in Toronto when this happened, up the 20th floor. And all of a sudden, the elevators didn't work. The telephones didn't work, and even the toilets didn't work, because it's all electric now. And we had to use the stairs. Now, as I was going down the stairs, I was very grateful that I had listened to my angels and had been exercising my body, so I was fit. And I was feeling a lot of compassion for people who had not been following that guidance, who were out of shape, who were having great difficulty going down the stairs to get food. And then we get downstairs and the restaurant says, well, we can't cook you anything because electricity's out. And the only thing that was open was one little shop that was selling potato chips and bottled water. And this was a little glimpse of what could happen in the future, temporarily. And the angels do want us to get our bodies strong. And part of the reason is because they said your bodies are the most accurate divination tools around. Your body knows what's going on before your conscious mind does. You notice this? Your body picks up on energies. It has instincts, just like animals have instincts. So a piano has to be tuned to have the music be harmonious. Your body needs to be in tune. As I mentioned, as children, the original emotional wounding happened when we discovered that our parents were not able to give us the amount of love and good feelings that we had in heaven. So we started to look outside of ourselves. And one of the things that we discovered was when we ate certain foods or drank certain things, it numbed that pain. It made us feel better, and the pain kind of went away for a little while. So sensitive people very often have addictions. It's very normal. I was actually a psychotherapist before I had my awakening in 1995 and started talking about this publicly. And my specialty as a clinical psychotherapist was addictions. And I did my doctoral dissertation on the link between child abuse and the development of addictions later. And in my opinion, we've all been abused in one way, shape, or another, not to diminish the abuse and the horror and the tragedy of people who've been very, very, very abused. But we've all suffered in our lives. Every one of us has been hurt, emotionally and physically. And it shut us down. And one of the few areas that we might feel better is by eating or drinking or using drugs. And I have compassion for that because I've been there. I used to be in the cycle where I would drink wine every night to relax. And then in the morning I would be very tired from the wine. So I would drink a lot of strong coffee to wake back up. And then the coffee would make me anxious, so I'd need more wine at night. And I was trapped in this loop, up, down, up, down, up, down, with no end in sight. Until the angels came to me and told me that they needed my mind to be focused. And they said to me, would you ever drive a car after drinking wine? And I said, of course not. And they said, why? Because I can't drive a car straight after I drink wine. And they said, well, you're trying to drive your mind to manifest under the influence of these chemicals. And it's why your manifestations are feast or famine, rich and poor, health and sickness, because you're driving your mind like this. They said, we need to help you to detox so that you can focus like a laser beam on what it is you desire, instead of letting your ego move you over here, and then you manifest the ego's fears. So I said, yeah, but how do I get out of this? I crave coffee every day. I crave wine every day. And they said, are you asking us to help you? And I said, yes. They said, good, because the law of free will says we can only help you if you ask. I said, done. Gosh, if you can get me off of this stuff, it'd be amazing. That was 1996. I haven't had any coffee since. I have not wanted any. And it's so amazing because I travel to every time zone. Every time zone. And I don't need any kind of stimulation at all. The angels explained to me that God is everywhere, including inside of us, and that God is energy. And they said that by thinking that a Starbucks cup of coffee is energy, I'm calling that God, my source. And I said, wow, that's idolatry. I don't want to do that. So I've saved lots of money by not ever going to Starbucks and buying coffee. Ever. I've never bought a cup of coffee at Starbucks because 1996 was pre-Starbucks here. But I want to be honest with you, and I'm not trying to offend anybody here. I'm not trying to be controversial. I'm being honest. I'm very, very concerned as I travel this planet, and there's Starbucks everywhere. And I'm mostly concerned because I see children in there drinking coffee. I'm actually horrified by this. And what the angels have told me is that, as you know, coffee does what to you? It makes you stimulated. All caffeine does, whether it's soda pop or chocolate or tea. Caffeine makes you anxious. It makes you afraid. It feeds into the ego's worries. Because the ego is always looking, what should I worry about? What should I try to control? What should I worry about? What should I try to control? And that's exhausting. And no wonder I had to drink wine every night. And the angel said that this, I'll get more into this later, but they said that this is part of this lower energy plan to get us all anxious on caffeine so that we will turn to pharmaceutical drugs or to calm ourselves down. And we can't let that happen. We can't let the lower energy plan go. We have to confront this. And I'm sorry if this upsets anyone, but I must tell you this truth, is that caffeine is not your friend. It's not your source of energy. God is. And you don't need it. But they've made us believe we need it. If you like the taste of coffee, great, go get decaf. It's fine. Make sure it's really decaffeinated though. Experiment for 1 week. The angel's way. The old way is that we do willpower and you have headaches while you're detoxing. I got off of probably drinking a pot and a half of strong coffee every day with no headaches because the angels took it away from me. They took away the addiction. Your angels are always talking to you about your food. And I know this because I've been talking to people around the planet about this. And I'll tell you what your angels are telling you. You're getting messages to clean up your diet. Oops, you don't want to talk about this, do you? This is related to your life purpose. Your angels are telling you to eat more organic fruits and vegetables, yes? Your angels are telling you to drink more water, yes? Your angels are telling you, some of you, now not everyone's body's different, so what they told me may be different than you. But for some of us, we're very sensitive to wheat, the additives, the GMOs in wheat, gluten. Some of you are being told to go gluten-free. I've been gluten-free. I love it. I lost 10 pounds like that by getting off wheat. That was cool benefit that they didn't tell me about. Like I can eat anything and not gain weight now that I stay away from wheat. I love that. And so I eat rice flour now. It's fabulous. Tastes better to me. They've told many of us to, like me, to not drink alcohol. How many others have got that memo from their angels? Come on, fess up. How many of you have been told by your angels to stop drinking caffeine? Be honest. Okay? I know whether you do it or not, they're telling you, right? How many of you are being told by your angels to stop smoking? Cigarettes or marijuana, or cigars or whatever. Yep. Okay. How many of you are being told by your angels to stop eating sugar or drinking sugar? I know. Someone on my Facebook page today said the angels are very mean. She said that yesterday she was trying to light her cigarettes and she used 5 lighters and none of them worked. And she just knew that was the angels doing. I thought the angels were mean when they told me to stop drinking. I procrastinated about 6 months after they told me that. So I understand the ego's resistances to this. But here's what they've told me. You were sent here as an earth angel. You've got angels with you all the time to support, to love, and to guide you, and to protect you. And when you ask, what is my life's purpose, don't be surprised that they answer you by telling you to change your diet. Just like the woman who was sent to Walmart, you might think, well, what does that have to do with anything? But it has everything to do with it. They want your mind to be like a laser beam, clear, focused all the time. One of the things that I didn't realize would happen when I got sober was how much more time I had. Because when I used to start drinking about 7, maybe 6 or 7 p.m., that was it. I couldn't do anything else except sit in front of the television set. I was worthless. But now that I'm sober, I can relax, I can do yoga, I can play, I can have intelligent conversations. I write books, 10 or 11 at night. So I have a lot more time now that I'm not drinking. That was an amazing benefit. So I thought they were taking my fun away from me, and I was feeling sorry for myself. But actually they were giving me my life back. And they helped me with it. I don't crave wine, I don't crave coffee, and I want to help you with the same thing. Whatever you're being told to do with your body, my advice to you as your mother, talking to you as your mother now, is just do it. And the faster you do what your angels say for you to do, the quicker you get your paycheck. And your paycheck isn't just that they make sure you've got enough money. Your paycheck is that you have peace and higher self-esteem. Because if you're doing anything that makes you feel guilty, that robs you of self-esteem. We must make sure that every action we do is something we feel proud of, that we feel good about. The angels need us to be strong and to believe in ourselves. And they're here to support us in doing that. So, the form that your love and light is to take could be to be a healer. I see Archangel Raphael, the healing angel, everywhere here. So I'm suspecting that many, many people here are healers. He's confirming yes. But he says that it's not about taking one more healing class or getting one more healing certificate. He says it's about getting confidence with your healing abilities now. Does that make sense? And the path to confidence comes from being honest with yourself and being good to yourself and being true to yourself, not from classes you take. Because you've already got the knowledge, I'm promising you. Most of you have the knowledge from your last lifetime and the lifetime before that. Because your purpose stays pretty consistent over lifetimes. What you did last lifetime and enjoyed, you'll still do well and enjoy in this lifetime. Perhaps, like me, you were killed in another lifetime for doing this kind of work. You know, they didn't treat light workers very well. They did this thing called burning us at the stake. I remember being burned at the stake, do you? kind of at a cellular level. So they don't do that anymore. In a couple of exceptions, places in the world, but you won't be going there. Nowadays, they give us publishing contracts for doing this work. The whole new world, darling. Or maybe, like me, were you made fun of as a child? Maybe still people make fun of you? How many of you have been teased or ridiculed for being weird? Let's be honest. That's all? Really? The rest of you? Okay, come on. Let's raise your hands if you've been called weird. There we go. I believe that number. So, I let it hurt me when I was a child. I let the other people hurt me because I told you I've been getting these angel messages my whole life. And the other kids laughed at me when I would talk about these things. Today it's different. Today parents brag that their children talk to angels. Today children talk to each other about angels. But when I was growing up in the 1960s, it was not the case. So I let it wound me that other people made fun of me, and I let it control me, worrying about what other people may think. We can't afford to do that anymore. It's time to come out of the spiritual closet and be honest about what you believe. It's time to be honest with your body and make friends with it. So the angels, Archangel Raphael is here, and what I'd like to do is a treatment with him for your body. And this is good for healing any kinds of aches or pains, any injuries or diseases, and also your appetite and cravings and addictions. So Isabel, if we could play some music, darling. Merci beaucoup. Archangel Raphael is the healing angel sent from God with the emerald green energy. He works with Archangel Michael, who's also here. Archangel Raphael, please fill this room with your emerald green healing light. And if you'll breathe this green light in, draw it into your body. Into your cells. This emerald green light will detoxify you, cleanse you from the inside out, bathing in God's healing energy of 100% love. Raphael asks you to love your body as it is right now. He says if you get mad at your body or judge it, it's like rejecting a little child that then gets depressed. Put your focus on any part of your body that you would like to heal, please. And send the emerald green light there. You can do this with any part of your body that's holding extra weight. Focus on that part of your body and love your fat cells because they're doing their job perfectly. The Archangel Raphael says your body is one of God's most amazing masterpieces. And everything in your body works perfectly according to what it is given. So as we focus on this part or these parts of your body, please ask them, what changes would you like to see me make? Ask your body what changes it would like to see you make. What would you like me to do differently, body? Body, what do you need more from me? What would you like me to stop doing, body? Archangel Raphael, we now give to you our addictions. Any behavior or substance that's causing our light to be dimmed. We ask that you energetically release us from cravings for these addictions. Help us to be freed from control outside of ourselves. Help us to get right with ourselves and have high self-esteem by doing the right things. And Archangel Michael is here with his royal blue, royal purple light, which he's surrounding you with right now, to shield you and protect you and lift you up. Archangel Michael, what is the next step that we are to take for our life's purpose? Archangel Michael, what changes would you like to see us make in our lives right now? Archangel Michael, we are so sensitive to energy now. Many of us are empathic, and we can feel the pain in this world in our own bodies. We ask that you detoxify our bodies while keeping our hearts open to compassion. Shield us in your blue-purple light, Michael. Help us to be the strong, powerful light workers that we agreed to be. Help us to be leaders and role models of peace. Help us to use our time wisely while we're in these bodies. And Archangel Michael, we ask that you give us guidance very loudly and clearly, that we can easily notice and understand. And help us to know ourselves, and help us to remember our divine life purpose. And Archangel Michael says that you already know what to do. He says that he's been telling you what your purpose is. But some have not believed him. Some have thought it was too good to be true. Some have argued with Archangel Michael and said, but I'm not qualified, I'm not ready. And Archangel Michael says to you, I know who you are. I sent you here. I give you everything that you could need for your job. Take this support. It is yours. to use to help others with. And Archangel Michael says all he needs from you is your word that yes, I will accept my divine assignment. He asks us all to humble ourselves as a way of quieting the ego. The bigger someone's life purpose is, the louder the ego is. While everyone's life purpose is equally important, some light workers elected to help more people or more children or more animals or more of the world than others. And if you elected to help in a very, very big way, then you can be sure that your ego is very, very loud. The ego is insane. It wants to have you believe that it is God. That if you're afraid, that you are guaranteed to be safe and in control. This is impossible. Surrender those fears by joining with me to take in a deep breath and gather any fears you may have about yourself, your loved ones, your world, your purpose. And on the exhale, we're going to let this go together out of this room. 1, 2, 3. Let it go. And keep exhaling. The angels say, worry never helps anything. But prayer always helps everything. They say anything you're worried about can be turned into a prayer by putting the words, God, please help me with this, in front of the worry. What are you worried about? Admit it to yourself. Get it out of the shadows into the light where it can be healed away and solutions can come to you. What are you afraid of the most? Admit it to yourself now. And the angels say to you, it is safe for you to be powerful. Reconnect with your divine spiritual power now. Vow to be the powerful light worker who you are in spiritual truth. Take upon your role as leader and speak your truth openly and honestly with love. Share your opinion, your thoughts, your guidance. The ego wants you to wait on this. It wants you to procrastinate another day, another day, another day. But your higher self only knows now. And the angels say there is no more time to procrastinate. The world urgently needs your light and your truth. Now, Archangel Michael, I ask that you be with every person in this room, continuously protecting them, supporting them, and guiding them. Help everyone here to remember who they are. Help them all to be supported in all ways as they move into their divine life purpose without hesitation, without delay. Archangel Michael, protect all the light workers of this planet as we go through this shift together. Help us to trust the messages that come through. Help us to take guidance and action upon these messages. Archangel Michael, please shield us all. What would you like help with? Ask for that help now, please. Remember, the angels can only help you if you ask for their help, because they cannot violate your free will. What would you like help with? Beautiful. And let's bring our awareness gently back into this room, please. If you'd like to write down anything that came through, it's a good idea to do it right away while it's still fresh in your mind. While you're doing that, I'm going to do just some little spiritual healing work with you. Some of the fragments that are left hanging here. The angels say you know what you need to do. Do it. It's time to clean up our acts and get to work. Now. So does someone have the earthly time? Maybe watch or something? 4:12? Quarter till 1? Okay. So they've told me, not the angels, but the humans here, have told me we're taking a 1-hour lunch break. I hope that's enough time for everyone to get some food, is it? Usually we take 90 minutes, but we're special here. So we'll be back then at 1:45, ready to go. And what I'd like to do is, these chairs are static, but I'd like to see if we can set it up so I teach you how to give and receive angel readings. We'll see if we can do this with these chairs. I think we can. We did it last week in Paris. Well, whatever we can do in Paris, we can do in Montreal, right? Okay, so we'll see you at 2:15. Au revoir.